Creating a dashboard on Home Assistant is pretty easy, but creating a good Home Assistant dashboard is more complex than it seems. And why is that? Because a good Home Assistant gives you the right information at the right moment. And for me, the good information when I want to look at my Home Assistant dashboard, my smart home in general, answers to that simple question: what is happening? Introducing the Advanced Room card, which is designed to give you a simple summary of what's happening inside your house without occupying too much space or as much space as you want. So the card has two views, two modes. The first one is the compact view, which you see here, that we're gonna go over in a second. And first I wanna talk about the expanded view. So the expanded view gives you a list of all of your rooms inside your house, sorted by each floor if you have a multi-floor house. And the first element that this card tells you is if there is presence or not. And as you can see, the closet and the studio that I'm recording this video in, are occupied. It tells you this by showing you this little green card here. As you can see, there is someone else at the second floor, which is currently moving, so we can see the presence appearing and disappearing in real time. Now, you may have noticed that some cards are lit differently. The studio is lit purple, the corridor as well, and it is because it answers another simple question: is there a light on? And each card will turn on with basically the average color of each light that is on. So if, for example, I go ahead and modify or just go ahead and turn off the light on the corridor, you can see that the corridor lit is off, and if I turn it back on, you will see that it's back on. And if I go ahead and modify its color live, you will see that the light of the card will modify itself accordingly. Let me put it back to purple. Love this color. Another feature is that this card will show you air quality data. So for now, temperature and humidity. As you can see, each room, if it is equipped with a temperature or humidity sensor, I made a video about this recently on my Instagram and TikTok, you will see that it has temperature and humidity data. And the card will also give you an average temperature of this data by giving you the temperature and humidity of each floor. So this isn't an extra sensor that you can see here, it's just an average of all the values that are reported by the sensors in each room. And you may have noticed that this card already occupies quite a lot of space, and if you're checking your smart home from maybe a tablet or an iPhone, it occupies quite a lot of screen real estate. And let me show you what is, I think, the killer feature here. It's the other view from this card, which is the compact feature that occupies as much space as you want. And here the sorting is quite different. You won't see room cards that are separated by floors. You will see room cards that are sorted by presence. So it is purely dynamic, and you will see the cards where presence is detected. And if not, if no presence is detected, the sorting will show you the cards that were lastly occupied. So it's sorted by presence. And you can see actually the card moving in real time. And if I go ahead and move into the corridor, you will be able to see normally that the corridor signals it as occupied. And if I moved same thing in the bedroom, which is next here, you will be able to see that the bedroom is also occupied. And it goes on for each room. So I believe that this card is a great way to get a glance of what's happening inside your smart home, whether you're at home checking in from a wall tablet or whether you're outside checking it from your phone. So now let me show you how you can get it into your Home Assistant instance and how you can configure it. So first thing that you want to do is go into my repository, Advanced Room Card. I'm going to leave the link in the description. You copy the URL from the repository, go on to HACS, so the Home Assistant community store on Home Assistant. If you don't have it installed, I really recommend you to install it. It's a very nice addition. Go into custom repositories by clicking on the three dots up there and paste the repository and select as a type dashboard. And you click on add and it should add it. Once you've done this, you want to go ahead and look for Advanced Room Card, and you're going to be able to see the card. Now you click on it, you go down below, and you will have this big rounded blue button here which writes add it to my Home Assistant instance or whatever. And then you want to perform a force reload. So on Mac, I think it's Command Maj R. So this is gonna clean the cache. If not, you just do it manually by going into the history and clearing the cache of your navigator. And now you can go and edit your Home Assistant dashboard at this card as well. I made sure that this card has a full configuration feature so that you don't have to write any YAML code. So just click on Advanced Room Card, and this is where it starts. You can set a custom title, say my home, whatever. You're gonna be able here to select how many rooms that you want to display on the compact view. So what I showed you was basically 5, but you can go ahead up to whatever number or less if you have a small screen size or you want to fit more cards on the same page. This toggle will remember the expanded state, so if you want to have maybe 2 cards, one compact and one extended, this will make sure that it remembers the state. Now the first thing that you can do is add your floors. Now I forgot to mention that one of the prerequisites that you want to make sure to have when setting up this card is to make sure that you have your areas, floors and devices mapped to each area that you have. It's very important because this card, to be able to have a semi-automatic setup, I leverage basically what's already existing on Home Assistant, meaning the areas, floors and whatever. So you may have noticed that when you add a device to your Home Assistant instance, it prompts you if you want to add it to an area. And this is basically what this card is using. It's taking all of the areas and floors of Home Assistant and basically helps you set up that card almost automatically. And besides that, it's a great way to have better working automations because you can target on your automations areas and floors instead of unique devices. So for example, turning on the lights in a specific room, it will turn on all the lights in that specific room without you having to target each light separately. So even if you're not installing my card, setting up your devices and your rooms and areas on Home Assistant is a really great thing to do. If you make sure that you have areas and rooms set up properly, you will have the card that's gonna prompt you to add a floor. So if you have a single floor, single story apartment, you will just need to have 1 floor because I think Home Assistant needs at least 1 floor to set an area in. So let's start by adding ground floor, first floor and second floor, reorder them here. Okay, let's start by adding the areas from the ground floor. So entry, kitchen, living room, and do the same for the first floor: bathroom, bedroom, corridor, studio Julia, studio Loris, and it's gonna go on like that. Let's, for the sake of this demonstration, not put the second floor, whatever, we don't care. And then you're gonna be able to configure each area separately. So let's start by my studio. The first thing that it's asking you is the presence sensor that you want to use. So you may have more motion or presence sensor. What I usually recommend is that for rooms where people usually stand still, you want to use the presence sensor, and for rooms where people don't stay still and just like movement, stairs, corridors, whatever, you should be using motion sensors. So for my studio, I have actually an Aqara FP2 and it's plugged here as a binary sensor, so it already detected it. Perfect. Now the temperature and humidity here, there's a bit of a glitch, but it's okay. You can select the temperature and humidity sensors that you want to put. Here, for example, it has some suggestion proposing me internal temperature sensor of my AC that I have, but it's not, I don't think it's the best one that I can get. I'm going to use the one from the dedicated sensor, the Sonoff temperature and humidity sensor, which also reports CO2. Made a video about this, by the way, on Instagram. And now you can set up the lights. So by default, it's gonna embed all of the lights that are within your area automatically. But there is a possibility that you can just go ahead and toggle off some lights that you don't want to include for whatever reason on this card, or even add some lights that you want this card to report. The extra sensor doesn't really work right now, but on the roadmap, what I wanted to have is to have the possibility to add more data on each card without overloading. So that's why I'm really Timto. I don't want to make it data information overload. I want to keep it very simple to report things such as air quality data, maybe the status of the air conditioning or the radiator if they are on or off, which is probably a great data point. Then you also have the possibility to have custom actions, which is something that will probably interest most of you, is that when you click on a room, whether it's tap action, hold action, or double tap action, it can trigger something. What I think is the best use case for this is that you have an Home Assistant page for each room, and clicking on it, you can get the details from each room. So that would be a perfect occasion. And that's basically, let's configure maybe another room. Let's say the bedroom. Here it's the same. You have the occupancy, so it detected the only occupancy sensor that there is in this area, so it's perfect. It auto-selected. Then about the temperature suggestion, I'm gonna select the same temperature sensor, the Sonoff temperature sensor that I added, and that's basically it. So that's it for this card. I hope you guys liked it. I also put some time to write a little guide about the material that I think that you should use for this card to make like the best out of it, which is also great for making general automations about your smart home. For example, those are the devices that I confidently recommend. So for example, a great sensor, a motion sensor for rooms where you pass by and don't forcefully stay, is the Son of Sense Guard Motion. Pretty cheap, works with Zigbee. It's a very solid sensor, honestly. Then if you want to go ahead and have real presence sensing, go for the Aqara presence sensor FP300. It's a great sensor, works on battery, which is pretty rare for presence sensor. I used it on my small living room where I don't need to have sub-zones. If zones make sense, for example, you have a big living room which embeds also the kitchen. The FP2 is great, which I used on my old apartment, which had a big living room with the kitchen embedded in it. It allowed me to create different zones that will separately appear on Home Assistant. You will have the couch zone, the living room zone, the kitchen zone, which allows me to set diverse automations based on precisely who is where. And finally, if you want to get into like really specific details, the Shelly allows you to count the people that are in each zone, whereas with the Aqara, it's not the case. It's an information that you only get from the application that isn't shared on third-party applications such as Home Assistant or HomeKit. With the Shelly presence sensor, you have much more liberty, but both are really great sensors. Let me know in the comments what you think about this card and what you want to see next, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.